What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series talk show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today we've got a little bit of news and a little bit of ranting for you on this week's episode. We've got a brand new international archive wave, Justin. And we're also going to be talking just in general about the confusing re-release, repack, reissue scenario that has been going on as well. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars, the Black Series here on the channel. Now, Justin, Sith Lord 229 on YouTube got an exclusive reveal of the next Black Series Archive International Wave.
Yeah, this is Wave 2 of Archive for 2024. Both waves are non-US international exclusives. HASBRO Pulse has been trying to expand globally to a larger market, make more figures available. I know that's kind of a hypocritical statement with the re-releases like Fox and Rex, but that is what they've been trying to do, so they have these international archive waves. So we have Wave 2, and they are as follows. Obi-Wan Kenobi from The Phantom Menace, Luke Skywalker, the light cruiser version from The Mandalorian, Grogu, Nate, and Ahsoka Tano, like the figure from The Mandalorian / the Ahsoka series, without the soft goods, of course.
Of course. Yeah, this definitely lit the internet on fire. I don't think a lot of people caught on that it was an international only wave.
Because you get a lot of those comments like, can't wait for these to show up at Ollie's and Ross.
Yeah.
Like, well, they're not coming to the United States, but I get the sentiment.
Yeah, to U.S. collectors, besides Obi-Wan Kenobi, this wave would be a pretty big head scratcher.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Luke has actually got some aftermarket value to him at this point in time, but of course Grogu and Ahsoka, a dime a dozen. You can't escape either of them.
Yeah, so Obi-Wan Kenobi is a pretty decent pick for Archive, at least here in the US. He is well above retail, probably double, almost triple retail. It's hard to say what it's worth internationally, and I think like on this point we all need to take a step back from jumping to so many conclusions on this topic, because your country is not the only country to exist. And I know us Americans, we really struggle with this subject. The United States is not the only country in the world, but likewise the United Kingdom is not the only country in the world. Canada, not the only country in the world. There are, I believe, 44 countries in Europe and 48 countries in Asia. So everyone has a different experience of what figures have been hard to get. So when you say, oh no, internationally these are fine, I can still get Ahsoka for 15 pounds. That's just your anecdotal, like the country that you're in, the market that you're in. So I just want to get that right out of the way. Like, we don't know.
Right. It's hard to know for certain, especially because we did try and, kind of gather some information from the people that we know in, like, our Discord that are international. But, primarily our audience is US, UK-based, Canada-based. Yeah. So it's hard to gain, like, true perspective on, like, the other countries in Europe, and maybe these are all difficult to get, or maybe it's like most places, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's a great pick, Luke is decent choice.
Yeah, I asked Sith Lord in the chat, because it was like a premiere video that he did, so he was in the live chat, and I asked him, like, were these hard to get, like, in your area? And he said Obi and Luke for sure, but not Grogu or Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the two picks that are definite head scratchers. The light cruiser Luke was in just one single mainline wave. A lot of people say, look, I can get the Book of Boba Fett one. That one is different.
That's true.
That has the more ninja tunic sort of deal going on.
Yeah.
So that has only been released once. So Obi-Wan and Luke, we think are fine. But Ahsoka and Grogu, like, when I saw those two, I was like, WTF, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it just feels so weird because typically Archive beforehand was reserved for old, hard-to-get figures. 3 of these are relatively new figures.
Like Galaxy packaging.
Yeah, like not that old. I feel like maybe even at an international standpoint, they could have had some better picks. Like, how we've found out that Rex and Fox aren't going to be available. Those re-releases are only going to be in the United States. Mm-hmm. Maybe those could have been packed into some archive boxes for international collectors.
Yeah, and then Ahsoka, even from the perspective that internationally we're thinking all countries out there, Ahsoka has been released 7 times now with this specific sculpt when you consider the holocom, the credit collection, the carbonized, the Mandalorian version, the Ahsoka version, this version, the 2-pack, the 3-pack version, and which is the only one with the soft goods. They couldn't even include the soft goods cloak this time around just to sweeten the deal a bit, mix it up, throw us a bone.
Yeah, it's really hard to imagine there's someone out there that doesn't have Ahsoka that's wanted her just because it's been such a widely available figure, and they're definitely making their money on that mold, that's for sure. Probably 100%. One of the few times where they've released a character unchanged so many times, essentially.
100%. I am curious to see whether this will actually show up in the United States, because Big Bad Toy Store at the moment has Archive Stormtrooper on their site for $28, but only the Stormtrooper.
I think they buy stuff from an international Hong Kong retailer, because recently they got the Walmart exclusive Bad Batch Season 2 figures, and those all had the Hong Kong Chinese stickers on the back of the package.
Oh, okay.
When you order them directly from China, so
because you ordered those, right?
So maybe they have some sort of link or connection with a buyer like that, so they're able to get some of this stuff.
So maybe we'll see these in the US, but who knows. It was just a big bombshell announcement, random drop. Again, a lot of misunderstandings. Ahsoka and Grogu, I definitely that's an L. That's a head scratcher. I don't understand that. But Obi-Wan and Luke, I think, are fine choices. Like we said, they're trying to expand globally, hit a larger market. I don't know the method to this madness. And it also, doesn't affect us at all because we're in the U.S.
Of course.
So I was kind of just not really worth making a fuss.
Yeah, I mean, was I hoping that it was going to be something for us, a nice archive figure, something highly desirable that a lot of people have been missing out on? Of course, I was hoping it would be something like that. But, this also could make sense for international people out there. And I think I really want to know everyone's perspective out there. If you're from a non-UK, non-North America, let us know your perspective on these figures. I'm just really curious.
Let's get the Romanian perspective.
Yeah.
Let's get the Croatian perspective.
Action?
One final note about this archive wave, specifically about the Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're about to go on a bit of a rant here. I believe we have a Black Series scumbag first.
Ooh.
And that is photoshopping the photos of the actual real figure to make it look like it has pinless double jointed legs.
Yeah.
Now, Hasbro has done this before on renders, and they have done it on plastic-free packaging covers, which are also renders. So they have sort of done this before, but I do believe this is the first time they've ever done it on the real physical figure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be straight up honest. I think that is really scummy, and I think we should call that out and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly deceptive because it makes it seem like the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan is going to have double-jointed pinless legs, which is something that has never existed in the Black Series.
Right.
So it would be a huge monumental moment if it was true, but we know it's not. Archive, with the exception of Han Solo from The Force Awakens and Boushh Leia, they never have ever had different or new tooling. And I just feel like there's no possible way.
Yeah, and you can actually see like a really piss poor Photoshop job on one of them where you see the two holes. Right. And they're just like blurry holes.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to like scrub through Sith Lord's video to see if like maybe we could see the pins, or like maybe there's a chance that they really are pinless, but
no shot.
Yeah, there's no chance, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, why? What's the point of photoshopping the pins out?
Right, and it's to make it look more visually appealing, which is straight up false advertising. Like, we have the same opinion of that video we made well over a year ago about the PFP renders. Same thing. I think this instance is even worse because, again, it's the real figure. It's not a render. And look, no corporation is your friend. They are all out to make money. Bottom line, they are profit driven. But we all play the game to some degree. As consumers, we play into the game. We know what we're getting into. But when corporations do this sort of stuff that is so blatantly deceptive, it just strikes a chord in me. And I'm like, you know what? No. Like, this is really scummy, and we should bring this up on our show.
Yeah, of course.
Don't do that.
I mean, we made a whole video about it, so it's only right to bring it up again when it has actually
Because now they've taken it a step further, and they're doing it on the real figure. I'm like, there's no point in doing that. Don't try to deceive us. You already do that with the deluxe boxes, stretching that shit out. Like, just stop the deception.
Take Boba Fett's helmet off, put it next to him.
Now it's deluxe. Yeah.
Now let's move on, Justin, to sort of the main topic that we wanted to discuss, the main rant, if you will, of this episode. And that's just going to be a discussion about the crazy re-release debacle that's going on right now between several different sublines. There's tons of figures that are coming out once again, but there's just a lot of different ways that they're releasing these figures, and we just kind of want to discuss it because as two collectors who like to welcome in new collectors and try and have everything, you know, as easy to digest as possible, something like this has clearly been confusing a lot of new and even some old collectors alike. Just based on all the comments we've been getting.
Right, so we do want to preface, we do not have issues with re-releases. We never have, we never will. We do not care about aftermarket value. I don't want people to get the idea that we're hating on re-releases.
Oh, yeah.
But what I am sort of hating on is the confusion in which the way they're going about these re-releases. There are way too many avenues of re-releases as far as packaging.
Yeah.
And I know you and I don't care about packaging. We just throw it out. And we're deep in the trenches of the hobby, so we know how to differentiate this stuff. And it's not necessarily confusing to us.
Yeah.
But like you said, we've been getting comments, hey guys, what is this? Where do I get this? Why can you differentiate these two things? Why are they doing this? And basically what it all boils down to is all of the avenues of re-releases that they're doing. So for example, currently all going on at the same exact time at this moment, they are doing re-releases in the exact same packaging. So for example, the Rex and Fox re-releases are just straight up in the same packaging, same SKU, same UPC, same everything. Then they also have the Archive subline, which are repacks of classic figures that are just in the blister card, you know, bubble packaging. Then we have A-lister, such as Mando and Vader, where those are previously existing figures repacked into Galaxy packaging. They've also been repacking things into Galaxy packaging, but having it separate from A-lister, like Paz Vizsla. And then they are also repacking things into completely different packaging, such as Emperor Palpatine with the throne. So, for example, the re-releases in original packaging. Why aren't those archived? Like, what is the logic with, like, this figure's going to get a re-release in original packaging, but this one's going to get carried over to Galaxy packaging.
Yeah.
Like, what is the logic? What is Hasbro doing?
It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially for Rex and Fox. You know, they have done so many waves of archive that have included orange line, blue line, red and black box figures, where they are just taken and put into the archive package. And you have to imagine they have to remake the red and black boxes. This is not like a situation of where, I guess Hasbro found
they're fresh runs.
A tanker truck full of these figures. Like, that's
Right.
not what happened with these. So they're completely fresh runs. They have to make the package anyway. So it's like, why not just keep the archive line going, like how it's been going for many years at this point, and make Rex and Fox, and there's still plenty of other figures that need to be archived as well. They could have easily given us a new 4-figure archive wave.
Yeah. Or even, separate from your idea here with putting it all as archive, why not just have it all be Galaxy packaging? Because what was the point of introducing Galaxy packaging, which a big selling point on that is the mural? Why are we doing straight re-releases of things in their original packaging when you could just put it in a Galaxy packaging box? I mean, sure, your completionists might be a little upset, but it's a selling point, and I just think it would be some really nice synergy to streamline the entire line and have everything in Galaxy packaging. If it's archive, maybe still put it in Galaxy packaging, but gray out the color scheme, or put an archive sticker on it.
Yeah.
Anything. It's just, why are there so many different avenues that they're choosing to re-release things? It's one of those things where the more I thought about it, the more confused I got, and the more I thought about, man, if I was like a new collector jumping in today, we have re-releases of packaging introduced in 2015.
Right.
We have Galaxy packaging, we have archive, and there's going to be even more re-releases in original packaging. And at the same time, they have archive, they have A-list. They're repacking things into different packages, and we've seen the comments. Like, we get comments like, hey, I'm kind of confused on this. Can you differentiate this for me? Why are they doing this? I don't understand that. So I just don't get it.
Yeah, it just seems really weird. I mean, your idea definitely makes sense of just doing everything in Galaxy packaging. Of course, that would kind of be mildly detrimental to, completionists out there. But, why can't it just be new figures go in Galaxy packaging and then keep the archive for the re-releases, like it used to be.
Yeah.
They didn't really start doing this until just now, just this year.
Yeah.
They've started doing this weird, like, we're just going to re-release everything in a bunch of different random ways, and it's not really going to make a whole lot of sense.
And like I said earlier, I just really would like to know the logic of Vader gets an A-lister Galaxy packaging release, which is a repack of the 2017 A New Hope Vader. What is the logic, or what is the process of determining Vader gets a Galaxy release, but the Stormtrooper gets an archive box? Like, what is the logic? Why not just put the Stormtrooper in the A New Hope Galaxy pack? Like, I just feel like that would be great synergy for the line, and just have a complete Black Series line with zero confusion.
Yeah, it would make things a lot easier.
And then for Vader, they put him A-lister, but then they also did archive Vader, same figure, international.
Right.
So why don't they get the Galaxy packaging really? Like, what is going on?
I mean, it's also kind of like Glavis Ringworld Mando versus the A-lister Mines of Mandalore Mando. I've seen people even get confused with those two, because one has a soft goods cape and a jetpack, and the other one has a plastic cape and no jetpack.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, well, why? I don't understand why they're like injecting so much brand confusion into the line at this point.
And then you think about Rex. Why isn't Rex in a Clone Wars Galaxy packaging box? Like, imagine being an inbox collector wouldn't it be cool to get Rex on the Clone Wars mural or Fox on the Clone Wars mural? Like if you're an inbox collector, or if you display the murals. Like I thought that was the whole point of Galaxy packaging, is just to, like, streamline each show, each film, having the figures that are from that movie or show. I just feel like they're purposely making it confusing for new people, which new people do exist. And we get comments all the time from people joining the hobby. I know some people think the new collector thing is a myth.
Right.
I don't know why anyone would say that, but there are people who say that they're a myth. They're not a myth. They leave comments all the time, and they're confused. And I'm also confused at these choices. Again, we love re-releases. Bring them all on, sure. Just have a consistent packaging. Yeah. Stop with the re-release and original packaging, archive, A-lister, Galaxy, what is it called? Masters of Evil packaging?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Don't forget about the Army Builder packaging, too, that's plastic-free.
Ah, that one gets a pass.
Yeah,
that one gets a pass.
But, yeah, it's just really weird. Something that's definitely worth being discussed because, you know, we're just sitting here scratching our heads. It seemed so simple before. And now they're just like, why don't we just confuse everybody?
Just wait until the rumored Shadow Squadron Target exclusive set from 2015 comes true, and it's in blue line packaging.
Can you imagine?
That's really going to turn the orb of confusion on all of us. Which we want that re-release. Like, sure, it's a grail for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But do some Galaxy packaging maybe for it. Do that instead.
Just streamline it. It's not that hard. It would actually probably be easier and more cost-effective to streamline the packages rather than do whatever they're doing currently.
And that's the show. We're just confused.
And with all that being said, that's all we have for you on this week's episode of Figure It Out. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. And of course, if you are in a position to help support us directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. Check that out. There are links for that in the description down below. We got to give a huge shout out and a special thank you, though, to all of our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.